everyone, today I am here to talk about the rest of the story by Sarah Dessen. If you don't know, Sarah Dessen is a YA contemporary author. I really attribute her to a lot of YA summer reads. Honestly, she's kind of the queen of them in my opinion. Her books are some of the first books I've ever read of YA, and I always love her books. I have several videos talking about Sarah Dessen. I have like a top 5 favorite Sarah Dessen novels. I have a whole video talking about every single one of her books. I did a Sarah Dessen book club a time ago. There's Sarah Dessen videos on my channel. They're out there a lot, so I'll try to link them all down below and the playlist up here. So I thought I would do a single review about this book because I just talk so much about Sarah Dessen, so let's stay on brand, shall we? Sarah Dessen's newest book is The Rest of the Story. Now, I have not loved her previous novels, like her past 3, Once and For All, I want to say The Moon and More, and there was another one that I read, I forget what it was called, but her past 3 I haven't really loved, but a good majority of her books I love. Some of my favorites are Saint Anything, Lock and Key, The Truth About Forever, Along for the Ride. I just love her books. They're quintessential summer reads in my opinion. So I was very excited when The Rest of the Story came out, also very apprehensive because I haven't loved her past novels, but I have to say, I think Dessen is back because I really enjoyed this novel and it really encapsulated everything I love in a Sarah Dessen novel. So what I'm going to do in this video is tell you what this book is about, what I rated it, and what I liked and what I didn't like. I'm not going to spoil it for you at all because it's YA contemporary. I don't think there's much to spoil. I think you can guess a lot where the plot's going, but either way, if you want to hear my thoughts about it, just keep watching. So the story follows a character named Emma, and Emma lives with her dad, and her dad is about to get married to a new woman, and Emma's mom passed away 5 years ago. Emma and her mom were never really close. Her mom was an addict and she struggled with it for a good majority of Emma's life. So Emma's always been kind of distant from her. So like I said, her mother died 5 years ago and her dad's getting remarried. So at the wedding, her dad and her new stepmom are about to go on her honeymoon, and then Emma's plans for where she's going to stay for the summer falls through. So she doesn't have anywhere to go while her parents pretty much are on their honeymoon. So basically a chance arises for Emma to go stay with her maternal grandmother, aka her mom's mom, who she never really got to know. She goes to this place called North Lake, and it's where her mother lived all of her life, and it's a big lake where one side of the lake is like for rich people with a lot of hotels and extravagant things and like yacht clubs, and the other side is more of like townies, more for blue collar people with motels, just everybody staying there all year round, and that is where Emma's mom's family is from. So she goes to stay with her grandmother, and then her whole summer begins with her learning about her mom that she never really knew before, and learning about all of her family that she never got to be in touch with. So that is what this book is about. It's about, you know, learning about your family that you never thought you would ever get to know. Learning about your family. It's a family-tied novel, which a lot of Sarah Dessen books are. A lot of YA contemporaries don't feature the parents at all, which I really don't get, but a lot of Sarah Dessen's books, a good majority of them, focus heavily on the family aspect, and I love that. They focus heavily also on the side characters, which again, I really love. So overall, for rating-wise, I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I was leaning towards a 5 out of 5, but I'll talk more about why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, but I'd say if you love Sarah Dessen novels and you've been apprehensive because the past 2 or 3 haven't been really up your alley, I think you'll love this one. It screams early Sarah Dessen in my opinion, just the pivotal kind of summery lake. Usually her books are on a beach, not a lake, but you get the gist. Character, you know, learning things, discovering something about themselves. Usually her books always have a good message in them, whether it to be learning to love again, learning to be open to your family like this one. So I really enjoyed it. I think you will too. So what I liked about this book is Emma. Emma was such a great character. Emma was very closed off at first when she went to go to her family because she didn't know them. But as the book goes on, she opens herself up more. She starts to realize that these are her family that she just kind of never put herself involved with, which she's really mad about. And she learns more about her history there and about her mom's history, about her mom's family. And she just slowly opens up like a flower. And I think it's really beautiful how she gets to know each one of her cousins, because she has many cousins, and gets to know her family friends. And I just love that she wants to be there. Like, her grandmother owns a hotel and she decides to help work there because they're short, and she decides to really embrace this lake life and really love it. And I just loved her learning about her mother's past and her mother's, you know, what happened to her, because she never really had a desire to learn about it because of her mother's addiction. But I think after going to visit her mother's family, it puts everything in a whole new light, and learning more about her mother, just more than the addiction that she had. One thing I did not like about it, the one qualm I have with it, was its length. It is quite a lengthy novel to me for a YA contemporary. It's 430 pages, which I think is a very lengthy YA novel. I think, honestly, if this would have been 350, I probably would have given it a 5 out of 5. I'm being fully honest with you. A lot of parts where it meandered, where I don't think were necessarily important to the plot. They were just kind of filler, so I think it could have been taken out and it could have been condensed into something much more impactful. But that's just me. That's one qualm I have with it, was it was lengthy and kind of meandered. But I love the overall message of this book about learning about your family, that, you know, your family is who you are, really, and your past does help make you who you are. And I love the relationship she had with her grandmother, her cousins, even with her dad. You know, at the beginning of the book, her and her dad are thick as thieves, and as she learns more about her mother's family, they kind of grow apart, and he's obviously trying to keep something from her and trying to keep her away from her mother's family. And eventually at the end, things all, you know, kind of happen. I loved the dynamics with all of her family members. Side characters in Sarah Dessen novels are some of my favorite. I love Bailey. I loved Rue. Oh my gosh, precious Rue. I love Trinity. I just love how she takes time for you to learn the side characters and that they are a vital part of the book. Because sometimes with YA contemporary books, there's a friend in there. They're just there to like springboard off like of the main character's feelings. Like the main character's like, I'm feeling sad. I feel this. Let me talk to you. But you can't tell me what you're feeling because that doesn't matter to the plot at all. So you're just there to listen. Think of like any sort of reality show when they have somebody, they have that friend there that nobody knows their name of because they can't share their own life. So they're just there to help you figure out more about the main character. It makes no sense, really. So I loved the fact that all these side characters brought something. You had an identifying feature about every single one of the side characters. They help make the book and they help make the plot move forward. So overall, in short, I really enjoyed this book. I feel like this book really resonated with me of Sarah Dessen's earlier novels, of why I fell in love with Sarah Dessen books. She just writes really good summer reads that always have a message behind them, and I always find myself after finishing them taking away something from it. It's something after this, it made me think about my family and how my past and how I need to learn more about my family's past because I've never really had a desire to, but now I kind of want to because learning about your family helps make who you are. So, and I will say there's a little touch of romance in it, but not a ton. It's very in there briefly, I would say. It's not really romance heavy at all. It's more about Emma learning of who she is and who her family is, but they sprinkle at the very end of romance. So in case you're somebody that doesn't like romance of books, I still think this is safe to read. It just has a tiny, tiny, tiny dash of it, but I like the romance that was in it. I love that it didn't take up the whole book because I love YA contemporaries with romance, but sometimes I just love a good YA contemporary where it's all about family and about self-development and things like that, and I think this one nailed it on the head with that. So yeah, I'm happy to have read it. I'm really excited. I hope her future books kind of go along the same route. As always with her books, I would like to see her do a series, like starting a book like this and then the next book be about another character. I would love to read a book about Bailey or about Trinity or about Jack. I would love to read a book about them because I love her side characters so much. That would be so amazing, but I don't know if she'll ever do that, but I would love to hope so. Also, in case you're a Sarah Dessen fan as well, Netflix has optioned, I want to say 3 of her books for movies. I want to say Along for the Ride, This Lullaby, and I want to say Once and For All, I think. I know it's for sure This Lullaby and Along for the Ride, which I'm excited about. I don't love This Lullaby, but I love Along for the Ride. So I'm excited about that. I hope Netflix does them good because I love Sarah Dessen novels. I will be picky, but I'm excited either way. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this book in case you've read it. I would love to hear what you think of it as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.